The basic ways to do a downspout for you. So here's my arm. I already got it built, but I'll show you what I do. So I come up here, I got my hole punched as well, and I pull a measurement from the siding to the edge of the fascia where the gutter meets it. So right here it's about 2 foot. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't really have to count the quarters and everything, ½ inch or whatever. We'll just say 2 foot. I take off 5 inches. So that would be 1'7". I go cut it on the chop saw, and that's my piece right here. This first elbow, the one that goes in, has to go inside. Next one has to go around this. So that's just so the water stays inside. If you have this one on the outside of it, then the water will pour right out the seam. Same thing with this one. So basically, when you're going down, everything has to go in, top to bottom. So you go up here, we got our arm cut, 1'7". I use the X out hole punch. Bend out these tabs. And this will go right on there. Zips out of my pocket. And get it on here. And I do one in the front. And then one on both sides. And as you can see, the big thing with this X out pattern is these corners. You don't want any light showing on there. And you get good enough eventually where you can make it wrap around there tight every single time, but while you're practicing, if you do see a little bit of light, you can dab some caulking on the inside just to kind of cover that up. Then we want to get our 2 straps on, and at this point you can collapse your ladder. I got a stick in my way. All right, after fighting that, you can collapse your ladder and lean it up against the wall, just so you're closer. Now we're gonna put on this strap. A lot of the times, if the old downspout was straight, you can just go right in between their 2 holes, or 1 hole, or mark, or whatever shows you where theirs was. If it was straight, something you got to look at beforehand. And screw that on the wall. Then you can take your downspout. This is how I do it. So I just get a rough idea. I get it about 2 foot off the ground. I'll come up here, line it up, make a general mark. Now I've been practicing that for a couple years, so I can make it where it doesn't come out too short or too long. But even if it does, you can just chop it with the chop saw again, or snip off a little bit. So now that we got this cut, I'll take this elbow and I'll just barely crimp the back and the sides a little bit, just to help this slide on the easiest way. Get this on there, and then you can kind of wiggle it back and forth to get it all the way up. Now that's holding on there. Get your zips ready. Push it up into place, and you can kind of pull the back of this strap before you screw it, just to make sure it's tight, so then it's not loose on the wall. I pull on the back of each side just to tighten it up, make sure it's solid on there. I'll show you that over here. It's the little things that make the difference between a good job and a great job. So that's the things I focus on. Hit a screw on each one of these seams. You can just do one on one side. So I usually go down one side of the screw. And down there. More zipping down here, of course. Make sure she's straight. Pull it tight. Your zip down here. Then it's always good to do extra at the bottom A, because this is the part where, you know, a kid will kick it off or stomp on it. It's better if the bottom one's secure. So I do 2 on the front, 1 on each side. Then we're gonna do a 5 foot extension, and that's pretty much it. Got my 5 foot extension here, and as you can see, I cut a little angle on this. And that's just so it slides on better. You kind of got a little bit more meat at the bottom. So it's definitely going to drain into here and not flow out the back. Once again, wiggle it up and down, nice and tight. And I usually just do one on each side, one zip. Sometimes, you know, you can do flip ups or no zips at all if the people just want to slide it on and off. But that is pretty much it. So if you got any more questions, comment, subscribe if you like it, and let me know.